Hi guys, so it's me from G-Dub. Today what we are going to be doing is basically part of what is going to be like a larger series on doing the electrics. I've got my units, they're actually off of the back wall at the moment, just so I can get access to some different areas. What I'm going to be doing is basically running some of this cable, which is Arctic cable. It lasts in the weather, it's sort of like got a protection on it that will stop it degrading, and I'm basically going to run this from the engine management thing that's going to be at the back. When I say engine management, you know I mean electrics. So it's going to run from the back all the way along the side up to the front. Now, one of the things just to point out, some of you would have picked up on as well, particularly if you're following the order I'm doing it, I have done it completely the wrong way. Ideally, you want to be doing the electrics one of the very first things before you start getting in all to the finer fit of like spraying things and laying carpet, because in that way you can just put them in there straight away and then cover them up afterwards. This way, some of the wires that I've got, they're visible in different areas, and ideally you want to be able to hide them because then it just looks a bit neater. So just consider that if you're watching all these videos and you've not yet done a conversion, don't do them chronologically in the order that I've done them. Actually watch them, just use your head a little bit, listen to some of the advice. Obviously where I've done it, first time I've ever done it, not watched any videos. Ideally do this as one of the first things if you can. The glove box is just down here, and just helpfully within there's this, which I got this off of eBay, it's only a few quid. This is the hookup for the mains hookup lead. Now there's lots of different places you can fit these. The first one a lot of people tend to go for is just up under here. Now the problem with going just under there is that this is then open to the elements, and so a lot of water will get into it. You have a lot of problems with condensation, stuff like that. Also in the rain and all that, you don't want to be outside kneeling around underneath your bumper trying to hook in your lead. Another area, it's windy, you could have it just under there. There's a nice little bit of bulkhead that you can screw it onto, sort of just through there, you can just see it. It's a bit of a pig drilling the holes that way, but that way you can just stick it up under the bonnet. It's a nice dry area, you shouldn't get any condensation under there. And then the other benefit of doing it there is then when you've parked up, you just drop your bonnet down, don't close it completely. You're obviously not driving anywhere when this is hooked up. That's an alternative. But I thought what I would like to do, because I've got these cool things here, what I like to do is have the window down slightly just to let some air in so it doesn't get condensation. I thought the best place to put it would be just in where the glove box goes. I'm not someone that uses the glove box so much. This is of course the driest place because it's actually inside the van. So if you look just there is plenty of room. I've cut out a little template and I've marked on there where the screw holes need to go. You can see I can still get in there to access that hole, which is basically one of the retaining screws along with those three down the front that fix it actually into the van. Stick that on the top in line there, drill myself 4 little guide holes, and then also at the back drill a nice hole just in here, because that will be where the cable runs through at the back. What I have done is I've drilled a few little guide holes, which I've just shown you just in the top there. I don't know if you can see, I've drilled a little hole just in there, you can see that. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a 10mm drill bit just to open that up, and that's what the Arctic cable is going to go through. There's my 10mm drill bit. So one of the things that's really handy to do, as you look in the back of there's a big hole where the lead goes through just before you wire it up, and there's this little bit there. Now the thing is, the little 10mm lead that I've got that goes through there is a lot smaller than that. So what I have done, I've got a little grommet just here that handily fits right in the middle there. I've made a little hole in the middle, the cable will fit right through that. That will push in and sit nice and flush. And yeah, so that'll look really good, and then that will screw in with the cable going through it. It's just really practical when you're making holes, particularly in metalwork. Use grommets. Now I have got this handy little set just down here of loads of different grommets. It cost me about $5 off of Amazon, eBay, just a set of grommets. They're so cheap, it's worth getting. If you're drilling holes in your van and stuff, get stuff like that, washers, all those sorts of things right from the outset. They prove to be very handy for instances just like this. Now you can see I've got the cable and I've started to route it through the dash. So it goes round the back, it follows the split charge cable that I had, it goes around there, and then it pops out just along the column, Now what I've tried to do, I've tried to actually run it along so you can see the trace that it's going to go. So it's going to go along here, then it'll eventually go round through the back here somewhere. It might actually come out through the back of the seat. As you can see along there, that's where the red one goes. So it's going to follow that, so it won't come exactly down here. It will come through the back of the seat, and then it will go along there, up into the back of the panel along there. But what I've done, I've just run it across the top just to make sure I've got enough length. So I'll basically follow all the way along the boards. It'll come out the panel out the back of here, and it's going to run along the back. So there's just enough slack there for me to wire that in, and also to be able to pull the unit actually out of there. The next job really is to thread all that back through. I know that it's long enough so I can cut it at the top. That run that I've got is long enough. I've checked it, I've just laid it out, I've just shown you that. And then basically I'm just going to hide it along the back of there, make it look all nice and neat and tidy. And what we're going to do first, we need to just prep this cable. There we go, Stanley knife. Now when I do this, what I tend to do, I don't know if you can actually see that, I bend the wire. Now the reason I do that is when I'm just slowly putting a bit of pressure on with the Stanley knife, you can nick through the outer casing without actually getting through to the wire underneath. Okay, so we've cut that through, and voila, off comes the end. I'm just going to use my wire stripper. So we're going to get each one of these, and we're just going to pop this in the wire strippers, and we're going to pull the ends off. I've got my glove box. I'm going to feed this through the hole in the back. There, voila. There we go. So that is obviously how the glove box will fit. So here we go. So the main thing, now I've got that done, what I want to do is pop that grommet on that I showed you earlier. So I'm just going to feed that right through, and so that's on there, which is brilliant. And then I'm just going to feed that through into here. It might be helpful if you need to get something like a little screwdriver, and then you can just push that grommet back in. That is on nicely, and the next thing to do is to wire that up. Okay, so I've got this all wired in. You can see the brown is the live, the blue is the neutral, and then we've got the earth, and so that goes through to here. As you can see, that grommet's located in there. So all I need to do now effectively is just pull through the slack and make this back up to the front, screw these little holes back on, and then pull through the slack from the back of the glove box. So here we go, in the glove box, there's the lead there. So if we have a little look in there, as you can see, the problem with this would be we've got 3 male pins that would be popping out. What that would actually do is those pins that would be on the end of a lead would actually be live, and that would be really dangerous because that would have mains electricity going through it. So what I'm going to do is just undo these 4. I bought this off of eBay. This was the one I should have bought initially. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap these plates over and basically just change the wiring. So I've already screwed this box in, so I'm just going to swap those over. I should have bought this one originally and just used this. I bought the wrong one. So I've undone the leads, as you can see, they're in there. And so the next thing to do, I've taken off that blue cover just on there. See it? And that one's just going to come off, and I'll wire that in and just swap them around. And then I'll just stick that black grommet, which you can see just there, back into there. And then we should be all right after my little faux pas. Okay, so that's all switched out. Let's have a little look at it here. That looks brilliant. I'm really, really pleased with that. And then it comes down here. It goes along the floor, and it comes under that seat. And then it goes underneath here, if you can just see it there. And then just behind here, and then it pops up behind that panel. I put one of those on there just to hide it, and then it basically runs through the back there, along here. This is my earthing block, and then it runs through again behind this one, which is all trimmed up, and then it comes around the back of the units, and it basically pops up, if you can see, just back here. See my little finger? And then the cable is coming out of where the EC160 will go. That's basically the mains hookup wiring done. You'll have to watch the other video that I'm going to be doing of wiring in the EC160. That's the next step after this. But this whole wiring in of the EC160 is broken into lots of little videos, just so you can watch it bit by bit by bit. We've got a website, www.gwcampers.com. GorillaPod.com, and you can also find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, just by searching for GW Campers. But if you go to the website, you better check out all that stuff. If you're a company and you've got any product that you want me to test or promote, we've done a few videos like that already. I can guarantee you increase sales. And if you're just someone like me trying to convert your camper, then please do keep watching, please keep sharing, and please keep commenting as well and liking and things like that. Cheers guys.